Good evening.
Okay, good evening. So we are welcome to today's meeting, today's webinar. So I'm Maima Akomaye and I'll be the moderator for tonight's meeting. It's nice having you all here. I hope you have a wonderful ride through the webinar. Welcome once again. So very quickly, we'll start with Truth Sprout Nigeria. Who are we? So Truth Sprout Nigeria is a subsidiary of Truth Sprout Global Network, TGN, a global initiative founded in 2018 and focused on SDG 8. TGN has, for the past 3 years, it was founded, contributed to global economic growth. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So it was founded. Okay, TGN has, for the past 3 years, it was founded, contributed to global economic growth by expanding great resources on social innovation and entrepreneurship, MSME's growth and support, and career development, with several subsidiaries worldwide, mainly in Africa and Asia. A global team of leaders, young, innovative, and economic transforming fellows and alumni. The organization has approached the realization of the economy of our dreams. Among the subsidiaries of Truth Sprout Global Network, Truth Sprout Nigeria was launched in January 2019, followed by Truth Sprout Ghana in January 2021, and Truth Sprout Changemakers in March 2021. Truth Sprout Nigeria has for 2 years fostered Nigeria's network of entrepreneurs, focusing mainly on micro, small, and medium enterprises, economic research and policy dialogues with key stakeholders across economic sectors in Nigeria. Truth Sprout Nigeria, through her MSMEs programs, partners and collaborates with support groups, investors, and experts who bridge existing economic gaps through financial support for startups, incubation, and acceleration, programs for young and aspiring entrepreneurs in Nigeria. The main goal of Truth Sprout Nigeria is to stimulate, support, and equip MSMEs by helping them to start, grow, scale, and concert their businesses and entrepreneurial endeavors. This means equipping more young entrepreneurs with the right skill set and providing the right network to flourish. This has resulted in more jobs creation and economic boost. Truth Sprout Nigeria has a campus ambassadorship programs running across major universities in Nigeria. It seeks to expose undergraduates to relevant entrepreneurial and workspace skills. This is aimed at helping them to be more suitable to get or create decent jobs after graduation. Truth Sprout Nigeria has its head office in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. So this is Truth Sprout Nigeria. So in case you're hearing about it for the first time, I've just read out all what we do in Truth Sprout Nigeria. And then we have our social handles. We have an account on LinkedIn. We have an account on Facebook. We have a Twitter account. And then we also have an Instagram account. On Facebook, we are Truth Sprout Nigeria. On Instagram, Truth Sprout Nigeria. On Twitter, still Truth Sprout Nigeria. And on LinkedIn, Truth Sprout Nigeria. So once again, you're welcome to the webinar for tonight. And we have a wonderful personnel in our midst who is going to be talking to us, who is going to be telling us some things we've never known, or some things we've known and probably we didn't have more light on it. So tonight we have Omotsayo Alemeru. Permit me, I don't know if I pronounced it well. LLB, BL, LML, Intellectual Property Law and Policy. Wow. So please, I'm about to read out her profile. Please listen and follow up very well so that you can gather your questions if there's any. She's a barrister in law at the age of 21 and has been practicing law for 7 years. Wow. Her professional career as a lawyer spans through litigation as an associate in a law firm with specialty in fashion, wow, entertainment and sports law, to adjudication, where she served as a legal assistant to a judge for 2 years. With the experience she gathered in these law firms, they founded My Digital Lawyer in 2020. She founded My Digital Lawyer in 2020, a law firm and digital academy dedicated to educating business owners and creatives about intellectual property and business law, as well as providing easy tips on protection of intellectual property rights, incorporation and protection of business names, particularly using simple terms that are relatable to creatives and business owners, and so much more. She's a legal consultant to a number of entertainment companies in Lagos, where she carries out every legal activity and renders legal services regarding the record label, their artists and promoters. In the religious sector, Omotayo is a legal consultant and secretary at Prayer, Power and Prophetic Ministries in Lagos, Nigeria. Wow. Omotayo is the social media manager and a member of the relationship management team of the Fellowship Abuja, a gathering of young professionals, creatives, and entrepreneurs with presence in Lagos and Abuja. She has an LLM CAM in intellectual property law and specializes in IP, entertainment, and corporate law. Omotayo is based in Lagos and Abuja, Nigeria, and can be contacted via email at mydigitallawyer@gmail.com. And then, sorry, okay, okay. And she also has her Twitter handle, Instagram accounts, YouTube, all at My Digital Lawyer. So Omotayo, you are really welcome to our midst this evening.
Welcome, ma. Welcome, ma.
You're very much welcome, ma.
Ma.
We're glad to have you in our midst.
Make sure she's still. I think she has some network issues.
Yes.
She's back. Welcome, ma. Welcome, ma.
You're very much welcome, ma. Okay, so I'm going to mute my mic now so we can hear from you. Welcome once again.
Welcome, ma.
Good evening, everybody.
Good
Hope
evening,
you're
ma.
15 minutes.
Yeah, we can see you, ma. I can see you, ma.
I can hear me. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I suppose there are entrepreneurs here. So I'll just go straight to the point, the legal policies that should affect you as an entrepreneur in Nigeria, of course. I don't know if there are people who are non-Nigerians amongst us, but I'll get to the international aspects briefly. So, okay. Can you hear me? I'll get to the international aspect briefly eventually. So as an entrepreneur, we know you are interested in buying and selling or rendering your business service. I hope everyone can hear me. It feels like I'm speaking to myself. Okay, rendering your service to. So the very first thing, like the moderator spoke about, is some things that you all may have known already. I think what I will be talking about may not be new to you, but you need to just enlighten about some of the things. The very first thing is business registration. business registration. So most people just hear, oh, I want to register my business, I want to register my company. I just know it's CAC. You don't even know what is, right? So the fact as a business owner, once you have decided that this is what my brand is about, this is my brand name, this is what I want to be identified with. And before you think of going to social media to announce and tell the whole world, this is maybe my lawyer, I am so brand, the first thing you should think of is actually registering your business with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And now the Corporate Affairs Commission is a commission that has been that was established by the Companies and Allied Matters Act. It was established to the Companies Act. Not a private entity that is just being in charge of business. Is an entity owned by Nigeria that administers every business corporate activities in Nigeria. So if you're ready to be a legal business owner in Nigeria, not just a roadside buyer and seller, doesn't really care about the brand or their business exists, then thing to do it. Decide to start your business with the commission. And then when we talk about that's like a pre-incorporation act. So when you say pre means before, that's before you even start up. After starting, there are post-incorporation activities which are guided by law also. So for that pre-incorporation activity, put out global network and it's organized than like an entity, right? Not a private business entity. So there are different types of businesses registered that are registered with information. You decide what nature of your business is, that's then to make it legal, official in Nigeria, you have to notify the commission that you exist and no other person should be that name. That's where the registration comes in. Then definitely you need to contact a lawyer, of course, to do all of that. And then if you decide that you are a sole proprietor or you are a business or just an enterprise, then the appropriate thing for you to register may just be a business name as opposed to a liability company. That's like company, right? Under law is treated as an individual. So imagine law treating a name as a legal, as if it's a human being that can breathe, that can talk and walk. And the reason why it's a limited liability is because its liability are limited to its shareholders. So you are not just registering your name if it's a limited liability company, you're also making sure that that company is treated separately from you. So if I own a company, for instance, my digital lawyer, if it's registered as a limited liability company, I have the ability, or the company rather, has the ability in law. CAMA provides, when I say CAMA, I mean the Companies and Allied Matters Act, of course, provides that you can sue and be sued in that company name. So in this instance, if there's an issue with my digital lawyer, I'm using this as an instance, of course, it's not Omotayo Alemero that will be sued, it's the corporate entity. And that's why these things are provided for in the Companies and Allied Matters Act. Even the latest one, the 2020 CAMA, has some sections from the 2004 CAMA that are imbibed here, although there are changes to this that may affect you. Before 2021, of course, before the 2020 CAMA, one person could not own a limited liability company. So most people then will just decide to put in their relatives, put in random people as shareholders. But the thing is, with the enactment of the Companies and Allied Matters Act in 2020, you as an entrepreneur, as an MSME, as a small business owner or a medium business owner, can own a company alone. You can be the sole shareholder in a company if it's a small company, of course, and the small company is a company with 1 million share capital. So I don't want to go to there's limited time. There are other policies or laws to look into. I don't want to go too deep into this. And then for NGOs too, or non-profit organizations, or for churches or mosque, you are also to register, regardless of the fact that you may call yourself a non-profit organization. So long as you're a group of people coming together to have a particular purpose, you should register your entity, your organization, with the Corporate Affairs Commission. So every entity, whether an enterprise, sole proprietorship, a partnership, a limited liability company, a limited liability partnership, you are supposed to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And it's really important because subsequent agencies that I'll refer to, subsequent documents or permits or licenses that you ought to have, all revolve around these CAC registration. So the next thing I would like to talk about is taxation. And then, like I mentioned, all these things revolve around CAC. Before you think of being taxed as an entrepreneur, right, there has to be a company that is being taxed. So this takes us back to the first step, which is your business registration. Taxation is just a levy, either by the federal government or by the state government, or sometimes levied by the local government authority to gain funds to help for the development of a state. So it's your civic responsibility as an individual, first of all, and as an entrepreneur, as an individual, that's the personal part. And for your business, the fact that you as a citizen, you are generating income, you are generating funds in Nigeria, in this state, you should remit a certain amount of money to the government as tax. Now, there are different types of tax. We have the company income tax. We have the personal, what's happening? Okay. We have the personal income tax. We have value added tax. We have the withholding tax. And then there's this industrial training fund, what's popularly known as the ITF, and then NSITF, as well as other levies. But the most common one, the one that's really relevant to you as an entrepreneur, I hope everyone's listening to me. I hope you can all hear me. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
one I think is important to you generally, aside the special ones, maybe like the petroleum tax, which is for those involved in petroleum activities, is the company income tax. Okay, thank you, Victoria. All right, company income tax, the personal income tax, and then the industrial training fund too, if you eventually have member staff. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. Like, I hope the terms I'm using are clear enough, because we are not all lawyers. I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible. So the company income tax, I would say, just like the name implies, income to your company. Recall I differentiated between a company and a company can be treated as a person. So whatever monies I receive as my digital lawyer in the course of my business will be assessed by the federal government. The profits made maybe in the whole of the year will be assessed by the federal government, right? And then they would do an audited account. Aside the fact that I have to provide my own statement of affairs, of course, they'll do an audited account to determine how much tax I should pay, if I should pay tax at all. If you are aware of the Finance Act 2020, just like we had the new Kama we have the Finance Act 2020, which brought about some notable changes. I believe is of relevance to small business owners. And when we say small business owners, it's really relative. You might think small business owner is someone that just has 1 million turnover, or someone that has 100,000 naira turnover. But according to the Finance Act, if your annual turnover is 25 million, you do not have to pay tax. So I suppose that's like something you should jubilate about if your own income is not up to 25 million. But if the moment your income, your profits, yes, in that company exceeds 25 million naira, then you should remit tax. And this is a new development. Before now, whether you own a business and your annual income was 10 naira or 100 naira, you really have to pay tax. And then I would like to go further to something that was trending at some point on social media about churches and charitable organizations not paying tax. So the thing is, if your activities are not ecclesiastical in nature, you should pay tax. I don't want to go religious in this aspect because it's really not so much of what we're to deal with here, but there are some degrees rather of income that churches or some charitable organizations receive that you can tell that this is not non-profit. And if it is proven that this is not non-profit, if it's proven rather that this is profitable and not non-profit, as it were, then you ought to pay tax. Although I can't really say if churches or some NGOs have bent to this to decide to pay tax. In the United States of America, their own tax law is different. So for charitable organizations and churches, you do not have to pay tax so long as you prove that every money is received by that organization is charitable and non-profit. But in Nigeria, that's not the case. So you're still supposed to pay tax. I don't know what happens in practice. I can't vouch for people if they do pay their tax or not. So I'm just saying what it is, what the law provides for. So as an entrepreneur also, talking about tax, there's an identification number attached to each business owner, and that's if you are even registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission in the first place. So like I mentioned earlier, you cannot pay tax if your company is not registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And this is not an excuse for you as a business owner to decide to be tax evasive, to evade tax. So you might think, oh, I do not want to register my business, so I don't end up being taxed. There is a lot to lose as a business owner if you do not register your business, of course, as against registering it because you are scared or you are trying to evade tax. So every business owner needs a tax identification number, just as the name implies. A tax identification number is just like you have your national identity number to show that you're a citizen of Nigeria. Yes, a tax ID number is a number to identify with your brand, to enable you pay your tax, for them to trace how much tax you have paid, if you have been tax compliant in the past, or if you are tax evasive, or if you have paid, and to avoid you paying taxes to the wrong people, of course, or paying tax on behalf of somebody else. So before 2020, I must say, you as a business owner have to go through the FIRS or your state inland revenue service, depends on what's convenient for you. FIRS, preferably in Abuja, to get your tax identification number. Okay. But in 2020, I think in the course of the whole lockdown and trying to bring the cost of ease of business, the Corporate Affairs Commission collaborated with the Federal Inland Revenue Service to make life easy for business owners. So you do not necessarily have to go to the FIRS to get your tax identification number. You can, once you register your business with the Corporate Affairs Commission, automatically a tax identification number is generated alongside your registration number. So if it's a limited liability company, it's usually on the face of the certificate of incorporation. But if it's a business name, then you probably get a mail from the CAC or you go to the FIRS website to get that. It's important that you get your TIN. People call it TIN, TIN, tax identification number, because even in the course of opening a corporate account for yourself, you would be asked to bring your certificate of incorporation, your TIN, and something called SCUML, SCUML, Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering. I feel like there's so much, because as I'm mentioning all of this, I really feel like touching on each of these points. But I'll speak about SCUML briefly before I go to post-incorporation activities. Okay. Give me a few minutes. Before I go into post-incorporation activities, for you to, as a business owner, you would need monies to be paid into your account, of course. Now, this may not be a legal, advice. I would call it a business advice. As a business lawyer, I'm conversant with this process, and I think it's very important for you to know that you need a corporate account, of course, to run your business. So you don't mix personal monies with monies from your business. So in the course of opening a corporate account, the bank will still ask you for your certificate of incorporation and your tax identification number, and then the certificate issued by SCUML, that's Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering. And that's an organization established by the EFCC to curtail money laundering in Nigeria, to avoid money laundering on the part of any business owner. So if you are a law-abiding citizen and you know you are not into money laundering, of course, you should register with the SCUML. You should get a SCUML certificate. So now I'll move further to the post-incorporation. Taxation is a post-incorporation, but with the CAC, there are several activities as a business owner that you should do after registering your company. So that's called post-incorporation. Oftentimes, business owners just contact a lawyer or go online, register their businesses, get their certificates, and they paste it maybe in their shops, or they even paste pictures of it online, and then they move on. And then after a while, maybe they need to get loan from the bank, or they want to apply for maybe federal government grants, or they want to apply for maybe a business visa, or so many other things. And then you realize that their business activities with the Corporate Affairs Commission is not even up to date. So what I'm saying here is that other than registering your business, there's a whole lot to do beyond business registration, such as filing of your annual returns, having annual general meetings. And this doesn't just affect only small business owners, even non-profit organizations and profit organizations, limited liability company. You should file annual returns. So whenever you register your business, if you do not have a lawyer, I don't know how you can go about it, but you should get a lawyer to do this. Contact a lawyer and make sure you're up to date with your filings. If, in short, the most recent regulation put up by the Corporate Affairs Commission is that companies that have failed or defaulted in filing their annual returns will be declared inactive. So you may be surprised or not, if you're aware, that the certificate of incorporation you're moving around with is actually almost like a worthless piece of paper to you if you have been declared inactive by the Corporate Affairs Commission, of course. So these are things. Then if you want to appoint new directors, you want to change shareholders, these are things that you do not do by yourself behind the scene. These are things that you should do by filing, notifying the Corporate Affairs Commission of these activities. Okay, I can see that the host is not here. I hope every other person is hearing me right now.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
I can hear you. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Then I would like to move onward to business. Okay. Thank you. So aside the post-incorporation activities, I would like to move onward to brand protection. So now this may affect not just business owners but creatives. So if you're a business owner, good for you. This is good advice for you. But as well as creatives, a trademark. Like a trademark is a brand name, a logo, a sign, or a slogan that can be identified with you, that shows the world that you are distinct. You have recognized you have been recognized and certified as a distinct brand. If your mark, and by mark I mean your name, your brand name, your business logo, or both of them, your signage, your slogan has been registered with the Ministry of Trade and Investment. So the law that guides trademark is called the Trademark Act, and it provides for registration of marks by individuals or by corporate entities. So as a brand owner, you should look into protecting your brand. You should look into giving that brand an identity that would speak even and live even beyond your own self. And like I mentioned earlier, I said you can sue and be sued if you are a limited liability company. Then if you have a brand that is protected, a brand name, a logo or mark that is protected, you can actually sue any individual that passes off as your own brand. For instance, True Sprouts, if True Sprouts is a registered trademark and you see some other person, maybe on Instagram, on Twitter, or in some other states using this word, True Sprouts, maybe True Sprouts clothing. No, not True Sprouts. Maybe True Sprouts NG or something similar to yours, so long as there's True Sprout there. Then you can sue them. You can cease and desist letter telling them to desist from using that brand name. Now, people do not really take trademark registration seriously in this part of the world, but in the United States, in the United Kingdom, you have seen several cases. If you follow entertainment news, I've seen several cases where like Kanye, like Kim Kardashian, where they are sued or they get sued because they try to copy somebody else's brand name. So there's no criminal liability for you if you decide not to register your brand name with the Ministry of Trade and Investment, of course, but it's a good advice that you consider that if the mission of your business is to grow far, if you do not see your business as just a means to an end, if you don't see your business as a means to survival, but you look at your business as a brand that is going to grow and surpass even you yourself, then you should consider a trademark registration. It's really important. And then if you are a creative, I know this is beyond the scope of what I'm supposed to discuss, but if you're a creative, you should consider both the trademark and the copyright registration for if you are a writer, a literary, or an artistic creative. So let me not digress. I'll move to international business owners. So you should know that if my time is fast spent, I think you should notify me. I see that we have 15 minutes left, but I'll try to round off really quick. But if I've spent beyond my time, please, the host should kindly send a chat to me, okay? Okay, so I would like to just, sorry? Okay, I would like to just quickly speak about business owners. So if you ever think of getting into a partnership with an international organization, then you should get ready to get a business permit for that organization. So a business permit allows a foreign business owner, or a foreigner rather, to operate business in Nigeria. So it's not just about you being in partnership. If you are not a Nigerian in the first place, you actually need, I'm sure you need a resident permit actually to stay in Nigeria. But for the purpose of carrying out business activities to make money in Nigeria, you need that permit. And there's a whole lot of requirements, starting from the certificate of incorporation, that you have to register that company in Nigeria, tax clearance certificate, the memorandum and article of association. These are documents that come with the CAC document, particulars of directors, and then you need an approval from a professional body. For instance, that professional body depends on the nature of your business. I'm really trying to hasten this up. So for a business permit, you need all of these. And then your minimum share capital in Nigeria should be, I suppose, 15 million. May not be right, either 15 or 10 million. That's the minimum share capital for foreigners who wish to have own businesses here in Nigeria. And you should have a Nigerian director, of course. Let me quickly round up because of questions. And you should also note that this business permit usually comes with an expatriate quota. So this expatriate quota allows you to bring in maybe a Chinese engineer, or just bring in an expert from another country. I just said Chinese because we see Chinese on the road, always repairing and constructing roads. Bring in a foreigner to work in Nigeria. So, you know, most times when you want to travel out, you have to go and work, they tell you need this foreign work permit. So in Nigeria, we need something like that too, for a business owner who is a foreigner to work here in Nigeria, business permit alongside expatriate quota. What else? NIPC for investment, yes. Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, established by the NIPC Act too. So this is also for people who want to invest in Nigeria. And the advantage, I'll just say the major advantage of registering with the NIPC is that it allows you to, it gives you opportunity of getting tax incentives. So they can apply for tax incentives for you if you are a deserving company. In all of these, you always need a business attorney. So thank you very much. All right, it's almost 8.
Wow.
Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, ma.
So over to the audience. Please, time for questions. Do you have any question for her? You can unmute your mic if you have any question.
Okay, thank you, ma.
Okay.
I have a question. Good evening, ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, ma, for that lecture. It was really very explanatory and I learned a whole lot. Thank you so much, ma. Okay, my question, you mentioned something about when we are going into business with someone, like when we want to have a partnership with someone. So I didn't really get the details of that part.